welcome to your core workout for today. Today we are progressing towards plank. So what you'll need for today is a block or a pillow and access to a high surface, either a countertop or a stair or a changing table is also great if you feel like you want to elevate your side plank. All right, so we're going to start on our bellies. So come all the way down to the floor, come join me on your stomach, you can roll down. We're just going to lay on our chest for just a moment to get a little bit of extension in your back, because this is not usually how we stand, right? We tend to round forward. Good. So I just want you to let your hips fall into the ground and then rock your hips from side to side. So let go of any tension that might have crept into your hips, into your lower back. Good. All right. And we're going to warm up with a couple of rolls. You're going to take your arms straight forward. You're going to take your left leg across and roll to your back, and then roll back to your front. Roll all the way back to your front, and then roll over to the other side, all the way to your back, and then go over to the other side. So we're going to roll back and forth a few times, just getting our side body to wake up. So you can lead with your legs, right? You can kick yourself over from one leg and then over to the other side. I'm actually holding my microphone because it's falling out of my ear. But we're going to go side to side. So we're just waking up that lateral motion in your body, right? And then I want you to try leading with your leg in one direction, right? Lead with your leg. And then try leading with your chest, right? So the second time you lead with your chest, your feet come after you, right? It might be harder in one direction versus the other. All right. Awesome. Good. Now stay on your back. You can recenter back on your mat if you'd like. It's a really nice way to get your vestibular system to turn on before we start doing a lot of this side plank work. All right, so on your back, grab your block. Just make sure it's close by. All right, so we're going to take a big bracing breath here. Inhale. Exhale, jellyfish lift, pelvic floor. Find your brace. Keep some tension in your core. We're going to do knee lifts one at a time. So I want you to make sure that your core is staying nice and still. The breath is an exhale every time the knee lifts. So you're inhaling here, exhale, lift. Inhale back down, nice and tight, exhale, lift. So we're practicing that APT breath with these knee marches. And this is the progression from all the heel slides that we've been doing, right? Being able to lift one leg off the floor at a time without letting go of your core. So if you notice that you are starting to let go of the core in your inhale, you can change the breath so you're exhaling on every movement, right? So it would be an exhale. So exhale as you lift, inhale, exhale as you go down, right? You can slow it down. Exhale as you lift, inhale, exhale as you lower down, inhale at the bottom, right? So make sure that you're using your breath wisely with what you need to support your core to stay nice and still in your core muscles. All right, so keep practicing this here. We're going to keep going for a few more. I want you to feel that burn, a nice low level tension in the core as you're marching the knees. Good. Just one more here. And last one over on the left. Great. Drop your foot back down. Take your block, put it between your knees. Good. All right, now we're going to inhale here. Exhale before you start lifting. I want you to lift that lower core, APT breath. Exhale. Squeeze that block. Just lift your heels off the floor and then drop back down. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and lift. Heels come off the floor as if you were going to pull your knees into your chest. All right, inhale down. We're doing a little pre-brace before we start moving. Inhale, exhale. Heels are coming off the floor. Inhale down. Your toes are still down, right? This is a modified version. Exhale. Heels up. Inhale out. One more. Exhale. Good. Now, if this feels good, we're going to lift the toes all the way off the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Pre-brace. Lift those knees all the way in. Good. Inhale here. Exhale. Both feet down to the floor. Keep that core engaged as you go back down. Good. Inhale here. Exhale. Pre-brace. Gather in and up. Inhale here, hold that core engaged on the inhale. Exhale, toes down. Good. We'll do 5 more here, right? You should feel a nice broad engagement before you lift. Exhale all the way back down. So we're exhaling on every movement, right? So we're making sure we're keeping that deep core engaged through the hardest parts of this movement. Exhale down. Good. Inhale. Exhale, pre-brace before you lift off. Inhale. Exhale down. Good. If you start feeling this in your lower back, go back to the heels lifting off the floor, right? I want you to make sure you're staying connected in that deep core. Exhale, pull back and in and up. Good. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale, core brace. Toes drop. If you get tired, all good. You can come back here and just do your belly breath. Last one. Exhale, lift. Pre-base before you lift. Exhale, drop it back down. Awesome. Good. We're going to do one more brace and lift. Exhale, brace the core. Lift all the way in and up. And then hold the block here. So bring your knees over your hips. They're closer towards your chest, right? There is a little roundedness in your lower back. You're squeezing that blocker pillow a lot, right? Think of those hip points moving towards each other. Think of APT breath, right? You're going to feel a lot of lower core engagement here. Draw those knees in, pull them towards each other, and hold here. Big breaths. As you inhale, try to breathe into your back, right? Stay connected in the core on that inhale. Exhale, go deeper on that core lift. This one always makes my belly shake and my legs shake too. Keep squeezing those inner thighs, right? It should feel like a nice depth in the lower core and in your deep groins, right? Inner thighs are working. Take 3 more breaths here. Squeeze that block. 1. Inhale into your back. Exhale 2. Good. Feel that burn. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. All the way to the bottom of your exhale. Excellent. Good. Take that block out. Drop 1 foot down to the floor at a time with control. Awesome. Good. Rest your core. Come on over to all fours. Bring your block with you. We're going to come up to all fours position with the block between your knees. We're going to do a very similar position here, but just on all fours, right? So tuck your toes, squeeze that block with your knees. Make sure you're lined up right over your hips with your knees, or hips over knees. Good. So we're going to take a big breath in. Exhale, engage the deep core, right? Find your APT breath. Now squeeze that block, tuck the toes into the floor. So you're drawing that block towards your pubic bone. Inhale, drop it back down. Exhale, brace and lift. So you're bracing that core right before your knees come off the floor. Inhale down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Right? Like you were trying to suck that block up towards your pelvis. Inhale down. Yep. Exhale. Deep core lift. Inhale back down. Exhale lift. Good. You're keeping a little engagement on that inhale when you come down. You're not letting go completely. Right? Exhale. Squeeze the block. Tuck those toes. You're coming 1/2 an inch off the floor. Right? Not up here. Down here. Right? Really subtle. Inhale down. 3 more here. Squeeze that block like crazy. Suck it up towards your pelvis. APT breath. Inhale back down. 2 more here. Exhale lift. Inhale back down. 1 more lift and hold right here. Hold, hold, hold. Find that APT breath. As you inhale, breathe into your back. Exhale, keep holding that core. Exhale. Good. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. If you find you can't hold it, come down and go in and out of it. Exhale. Good. 1 more here. Inhale. Squeeze that block. Exhale. Yes. Drop your knees down. Woo. You shaking? All right. Sit back on your heels. Take that block out. Roll the shoulders back. Bring your fingertips towards your toes. Scoop the hips up. Take a little quad stretch here. Good. Release anything that's tight in your quads or your core. All right. And then we're going to move on to a frogger. So a frogger is on your toes. You're going to take that block back between your knees, right? Your toes are tucked. You're in a low squat like this. Hands come down to the floor. And again, we're going to use that idea of sucking that block back towards your pelvis. So both hands come down to the floor. If this is a hard place to get to, you can bring your hands up to a stool or a higher place, right? Hands on the floor. Press your tailbone back. Now, as you exhale, you're going to squeeze those inner thighs, try to bring that block back towards your pelvis, right? So it's a very subtle movement, but you're sucking that block back towards your pelvis. Inhale, bring it back forward, relax. Exhale, suck that block back. You're squeezing in and up. Inhale, forward. Exhale, squeeze in and up. Inhale, forward. And what we should feel here is some deepening in the deep groins. Inner thighs are working a lot, and you'll feel your lower abs turn on as well. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, come forward. And what we're working on here is aligning the femur in the hip socket. So this is very similar to the iliacus pullbacks that we did on our side with the ball between your knees, just a different orientation. So if you found that was challenging, this is a good alternative to that. Right, exhale, pull back. Suck that blocker pillow back towards your pubic bone. You might have quite a bit of shaking, right? Exhale. Good. Keep going here. Work on the nuances of this movement, right? So you're squeezing back. I'll show you from this angle. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, squeeze back. Deep core deepens. Inhale, come forward. Last two. You might feel this in your quads too. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. And last one, suck that block back. Good. Awesome. Great. Bring your knees down. Shake out your arms. I know it's arm workout as well. All right. Now, come on up to stand. Grab your block. Bring that with you. We're going to take a squat with this block hold. Right? All right. So you're going to squeeze the block with your inner thighs. Bring your feet close together so that when you come into your squat, you don't feel like you're knock-kneed. Right? We want those knees right over your ankles. It's going to feel kind of close. Option for the block is either this side, or you can go wider if you need more space. Either is fine. Right? All right. So we're going to bring that block in, squeeze the inner thighs, and then sit back into your squat. So I want you to squeeze the inner thighs, find that internal rotation of the top of the legs. Right? And then imagine sucking that block back towards your pelvis. Right? So you're drawing it in and up. You'll feel a deepening of the lower core and an expansion in the back of the hips. Good. Now bring the arms forward. Stay here. We're going to inhale, exhale, pull that block back towards your pelvis. Inhale, let it come back to neutral. Exhale, pull that block back. So it is literally like 2 inches, right? Exhale, pull back. If you guys want to look at the video really close up, you can see that when I let go, my hips, my knees come forward a little bit. When you exhale, you're pulling it in and back. You're getting deepening in these hip creases, and the lower abs are turning on. Good. Let's take 3 more here. Exhale, suck that block back. Inhale. Exhale, suck the block back. Inhale, release. 1 more. Exhale. Good. And then come all the way up to stand. Awesome. Good. Take the block out if you need to. Shake out your hips. This is an excellent move for creating a lot of space in the back of the hips. If you tend to be a deep hip rotator gripper, which is often when we come up to stand and we pitch our hips forward. If we tend to clench our deep hip rotators, this is going to be an excellent one for you. And also if you feel like you have a hard time accessing your lower abs, right? They go hand in hand. All right, so we're going to do this through movement. Take the block between your knees, find your space, sit back into your squat, squeeze that block, right? Suck the block back towards your pelvis. Find that deepening in the deep core. Find that expansion in the back of the hips. Stay here. Relax your shoulders. Chin is tucked back. Good. Take an inhale here. Core engages. Exhale, squeeze that block. Come all the way up to stand. Deep core lifts. Good. Inhale, come down, squeeze the block. And exhale, lift. Good. And then practice that breath of keeping the core engaged as you're going down and as you're coming up. Good. Inhale down and exhale, lift. Good. Ribs are moving down towards your pelvis and exhale, lift. Great. 1 more here. Inhale down And exhale, lift. Excellent. Good. You can take the block out. Fantastic. All right, we're going to come back down onto our back one more time. Bring your block with you. And we're going to seal in this core engagement with one more lift here. So if you want to draw your knees up and then put the block in, you can do that. If it feels like it's too hard to bring both legs up at the same time. All right, so block between your knees. Pull those knees in, right? Deepen in the hip crease. So now that we've done all of this work with deepening the hip crease, what do you feel in your lower core? Is it easier to engage, right? Draw those knees in, round your ribs down, right? Find this connection, even rounding in your lower back a little bit. So this is an excellent setup for side plank. Good. Stay here. Keep breathing. Imagine sucking that block down between your knees and in towards your pelvis. Good. Stay here. Keep breathing. Breathe into your back. If you want more intensity, you can take your both hands behind your head. Lift your head from your ribs, right? Not just your chin, but your ribs drop down. Good. Stay here. Squeeze that block. Ribs towards hips. Chin is back, right? Head is neutral. We're not crunching through the head. Shoulders are open. Nice. Take 3 more breaths here. Draw those knees close to each other. Feel free at any point to check in with your diastasis, right? Use your fingers. See what's happening with that connective tissue. Do you need to lift your pelvic floor a little bit more? Do you need to drop your ribs down? Do you need to squeeze the block? It's hard to talk when you're doing this, right? Good. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Good. All right. Drop your head. Take the block out. Drop one foot down to the floor at a time. Fantastic. All right. Now we're coming over into side plank. First level of side plank is at the wall, right? So we're going to either come to a side countertop or a stair. You can do this elevated. Kitchen counters work nicely. The first stage is to bring your right foot forward, left leg back, right? We're going to extend that right leg underneath you so that the bottom leg extends out. The top leg comes over as a kickstand. Right? And you can come down onto your elbow. So I'm pretty low here. If you have a countertop, you'd probably be a little bit higher, right? And then you get that side lift here. All right. Now from here, press your elbow into the floor, lift that side waist. Good. And then engage your deep core, just like we did in those core workouts. Press to your bottom leg. Good. Chin tucks towards your chest, and then draw your shoulder blades together. All right, we're going to stay here and just breathe. I want you to think of that APT breath into the deep core, right? This elbow that's on the chair or on the countertop is pressing away from your bottom hips. Good. Engage your lower shoulders. And then use your top hand to feel what's going on in your abs. Right? When you inhale, can your abs stay tight? Exhale and they lift more. Good. Check in on your diastasis. Good. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Great. All right. To come out of it, press to your front foot. Come all the way up. Good. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. Left elbow down. So I'll show you from this angle. So left leg goes back. So you're straight from your head to your shoulders to your hips to your left leg. That right leg comes forward in front of you as a kickstand. Tuck your tailbone under, right? Bring your ribs down, engage in your deep core. And this arm on the countertop presses into the countertop. So you're using your shoulders. Good. And then use the top arm to feel around in your core, right? Stay engaged on the inhale and the exhale. Find light tension from the crown of your head out through your stabilizing arm and out through the bottom leg, right? If one part of your body feels like there's not enough tension, your core is going to suffer for it, right? Spread out the tension. Deep breaths in the core. 2 more breaths here. Find that APT breath. Good. 1 more here. And exhale. Excellent. Good. And then press to your front leg. Come all the way up. Awesome. Shake it out. Starting to feel that core. All right, so that is stage one. So if you'd like to do that stage again, if you want to stay at the elevated surface, please do. I'm going to give you a couple of advancements, right? So the next stage is to come down on the floor. So we're going to do the same thing on the floor. Elbow is down, bottom leg is straight out, all right? So on this side, I'm laying on my left side, my left leg is extended, elbow is down, this front foot is in front as a kickstand. Now we're going to press into the arm to lift that rib cage off the floor. Press the outside of your bottom foot into the floor and then lift up here, right? Ribs drop down, tailbone tucks. Good. Feel the underside of your abs starting to work, right? And again, use your hands to check in with what your deep core is doing. Good. Can even put your hands on your rib cage. Make sure your ribs are pulling down a little bit so that you're getting a little bit of roundedness in your back. Not too much though. If you notice it pokes out in your lower abs, lift up a little bit. Good. Nice. Deep breaths here. Press to your front foot for more support. Press through that bottom arm. Yeah, this is a hard one. Last 2 breaths. One more. Awesome. Good. Drop down slowly, right? We don't want to just clunk down to the floor. Excellent. All right. Other side. So right elbow down, right leg extends, or the other side if you didn't do the other side. The right leg extends out. So before we come up, we're going to make sure we get out of the shoulder. So lift those bottom rib cage muscles out, right? Engage that shoulder. Press through both legs and lift yourself up. Tuck that tailbone under. Find that rib pelvic floor connection. Good. Deep breaths here. Feel free to move that top foot around if you need more support for this. Breathe into your back. Deep core engagement in those deep core muscles. Good. Last 2 here. Good. Check in with your diastasis. You can put your hands on your ribs. Okay, I said 2. Do another one. Good. Awesome. Drop your hips down slowly. Good. Very nice. All right, we're going to go back over to the other side. Second round of side plank. So left elbow down. This time your bottom knee is going to come to the floor with your back leg back like a kickstand, and the top leg extends here. So you're going to scoop your hips up. Your bottom leg is in line. Your knee is in line with your hips and your shoulders, right? So make sure that you're pressing your hips forward, and getting out of those ribs, out of the shoulder and pressing down. So this front elbow is pushing away from the floor. Reach that top arm up. Good. Stay here. Tuck that tailbone under. You want to imagine that you are between 2 panes of glass, right? Stay here. You might feel this in your outer hip. That is okay, right? Your lateral hip definitely helps stabilize your deep core as well. All right, stay here. Keep breathing here. Find that connection in your core. I just want to show you guys from this angle that what we're looking for is a straight line, right? From knee to hip to shoulders to head. So if you find that you're sitting back this way, this is hips too far back. If you find that you're rolling back this way, bring those shoulders forward, right? You might have to play around with it a little bit. Make sure that this leg is not coming forward this way either, right? It's kicking back, so you're using your glutes in the back of your hips. Tucking that tailbone under, right? We're not sitting in the back. Tailbone tucking under. I've kept you here long enough, right? Your side waist and your hips are on fire. Awesome. Lower all the way back down. Good. And we'll go to the other side. All right. Bottom elbow down. Bottom knee is back in line with your hip. Foot is behind you, right? Top leg is extended. Take your hands on your bottom ribs. Lift out of your bottom ribs. Press that shoulder down. And then lifting all the way up to your side knee. Sending your hips forward. Rolling the shoulders open. So this bottom knee is very long, right? It's not propped up underneath you here like this. It is out to the side. You are on the outside of your knee, right? Hips are rolling under. And then check in with your rib cage, right? What are you feeling in that side core? What are you feeling in your side waist? Good. Stay here. Reach that top arm up if it feels good to you. And then stay here. Breathe. Find that good position. Work into the strength. So again, on this side, stay in that position. Again, on this side, right, we are, bottom knee is in line with the hips. So we're nice and aligned here, right? So we are not pitching backwards. We are not bringing that leg forward. We're not overarching this way, right? We're tucking the tailbone under, finding a nice engagement here, using the shoulders to help you open and stack your chest, right? So you can imagine being in between those two panes of glass and you are breathing here. I know this is killer. So if you want to lift that top leg up, this is a little bit more challenge, right? Ooh, you really feel the burn in the hips, but you're also getting side plank at the same time. Good. And then drop all the way back down. Fantastic. All right. Shake it out. One more set here. We're going to do full side plank. So if you are not here yet, you can go back to one of the other options, right? You can stay at the elevated surface. You can come back to bottom knee on the floor, foot forward. Any of these are great options. You're going to do that one more time. All right. So full plank is elbow down to the floor. And the reason why we keep the elbow down to the floor instead of doing full arm is because there are a lot of different joints that we're working on here. We're taking one of the joints out of consideration so you can focus on your core and your outer hips, right? All right, so both legs go straight. Options for your feet are either stacked or one in front of the other, right? You can try which one works best for you. I like to start with my legs stacked like this. So again, you're gonna lift that bottom rib, come up, press through that front elbow forward, tuck your tailbone under. Good. Stay here. You're using your shoulders, using your deep core as you are staying here. Second option is to stack your feet, right? Lift those arms up. Stay connected in the core. Make sure you're not leaning back too far. You're feeling it in your back, right? We want the ribs to come down and press through your legs. Deep breaths here. Yeah, 3 more breaths. Come on with me. 1, 2, 1 more. 3. Oh yeah, good. Drop down slowly. Good. And then we'll switch to the other side. Amazing. Notice that you always come out of things very slowly. You don't just plop down to the floor because you're still getting benefit when you come out of the position. All right. So full plank on this side or the variation that you choose. Either feet staggered, top leg in front, right? Lift those bottom ribs, draw your shoulder down your back, press through your elbow, lift your hips, all right? Tuck those tailbone under. Good, shoulder blades open. You can choose to stay here or stack your feet, but just be aware of tilting back, right? Like I just did, but you got to fix it, right? Tuck the tailbone under. And if it's too hard to hold, come back to the modified version. Good. 4 breaths with me here. Ready? Inhale. Exhale, deep breath. Bottom of your exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Core engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. You got it. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Drop your hips down. Good. Whew. All right. Shake it out. Good. Now we're going to all join in a star position. So this position that I just came into, one leg forward, one leg back. We're going to take the opposite arm. So the leg that is out, you're going to go towards your back leg with this stretch and then go over to the other side. Just going to wave through it a little bit and get rid of any tension in the core. Yeah. One more each side, like seaweed, and then switch to the other side. So star sit on this side, the other leg comes back. This is really good for internal rotation as well. Right, so you're gonna go away and then back this way. Yeah, and just really get into the mobility here and into the stretch, right? We worked a lot of muscles in our side waist and in our hips today to really open out into it. Good, last 2 here. Great, good. Excellent. All right, come back to all fours, tuck your toes, sit back. We're going to take a little stretch here. So you can bring your knees off the floor, come into a rounded squat here, round your back, press your heels towards the floor. Good. And then straighten your legs, fold forward over your legs. Ooh, a little bit of shakiness. and then round all the way up to stand. Excellent.